My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Every single week, we break down full UFC fight cards. We give you our picks, our bets, and our fantasy plays. So make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our content. And our videos are brought to you by BETU Play to Earn. BETU Play to Earn is the world's first play-to-earn sports and esports betting game. Check it out now at betuearn.com. That's bet, the letter U, earn.com. And OddsJam. OddsJam.com has the fastest real-time data between all of the sports books, which helps you spot discrepancies and place risk-free bets. Check them out now at oddsjam.com. Every single fight, all of the odds from all of your favorite sports books. Next up, at UFC London, we have Elise Reed versus Cory McKenna. Cory McKenna is 6-1 overall, 4-1 in her last five, riding a 4-fight win streak. Elise Reed is 4-1 in her entire career, therefore 4-1 in her last five, and she's coming off that very one-sided loss to Sijara Eubanks. And that one-sided loss, let's not forget, when Elise Reed took that fight, it was short notice, and she went up in weight. That was at 125 pounds, not her weight class, which is 115 pounds, and it was short notice. So, unfortunately for Elise Reed, that is how she got into the UFC. It wasn't a great showing, but obviously they give everybody a second chance when they do them that favor. Elise is very active. She never slows down. She's got really good power for her size. She's got decent grappling and very good cardio. And I think this is a good test for her because I think you honestly can just ignore the Eubanks fight. It was a mismatch. It was unfair, short notice, size difference. Just ignore that. And then, this is her real test to see, is she UFC caliber? And Cory McKenna is a big test because she's very well-rounded. She's got a ton of fun to watch. She literally does everything. She'll march forward, throwing solid 1-2s. If you guys remember Vitor Belfort back in the day when he knocked out Wanderlei Silva, just running forward like this. Cory McKenna will do that. She'll do Superman punches. She'll throw head kicks. I've seen her double leg opponents, pick them up clear in the air, slam them down. We've seen a ton of submissions from her, a ton of strikes. She's incredibly well-rounded. She can be hittable, though, so she does need to clean that up. But she's tough, and she is so busy that it makes people work very, very hard. And this is another really fun fight on this card. Both of these women love coming forward and pushing a pace. Elise Reed lets her hands fly and has real power. Cory also loves to engage. She is pretty hittable, so that could be a problem, especially with somebody like Elise who has power. But I think Cory's willingness to work in the takedowns will be the difference here. I like Cory to win. She's only 22. This is absolutely the biggest fight of her life. So hopefully she doesn't freeze up, big lights, all that stuff. But, the odds I think are a bit wide. I think this is another really close fight. But I do think Cory's more well-rounded, has more tools. And I like Cory to win this fight. What do you think, Jiggy boy?
Yeah, I actually agree with you, especially with the odds too. I think the odds kind of are a little wide, a little bit crazy. Cory should be the favorite, but honestly, it should be probably like a minus 125. It should be close to a pick'em in this fight because Elise Reed, you mentioned it last fight. I'm gonna start using that. I know I'm gonna use that next time we break down Ryan Hall and be like, yeah, that his last fight, you could just ignore that one. That doesn't even count. It is funny, but she really did get dominated in that fight by Sijara, and that's I think the path of victory to Cory. If this is just a straight distance kickboxing fight, Elise Reed's going to win that fight. She knows how to manage her distance. She does have the power. She posted a video on her Instagram, I think, of her hitting a heavy bag, and it was terrifying. It looked like Floyd Mayweather hitting a heavy bag, which I know he doesn't have a ton of power, but the way that you just see the power she was laying into that thing was crazy. So if this is just a simple kickboxing match, she should dominate. Honestly, she should dominate at range. But if Cory can make this dirty, use some dirty boxing, as you mentioned, kind of blitz forward, get this fight to the ground, that's where she should be able to win the fight. So honestly, this is more of a pick'em. Cory should be the favorite because she's got a little bit better path to victory with the wrestling because we saw Reed really not be able to do anything down there. Even if you're someone's heavier, you should at least look like you know what you're doing. She looked like she didn't even know what to do down there. So that's your path to victory if you're Cory in this matchup. And if you want to try to strike at a distance with her, you might get knocked out. So my pick is Cory in this matchup, but Reed is definitely alive in the striking.
Yeah, I completely agree. She's definitely not getting the credit she deserves. And there's obviously, if any sport is what have you done for me lately, it is absolutely MMA. And Elise Reed unfortunately hasn't done much lately.
And
So she's not really
Corey also trains at Team Alpha Male.
Team Alpha
She's
Male,
at a real camp.
And honestly, training at Team Alpha Male, I think that's just going to reinforce the wrestling. I mean, we've seen her go watch some. She literally double legging people in the air, slamming them down. And Team Alpha Male is only going to help with that. So we're on the same side of the pick here. $8,800. I mean, I think the odds are close. $8,800. You know, I just can't get that double leg out of my head. Just picked her clean up. You do not see women do that. Picked her clean up from under the butt and dumped her. That's 5 points right there, plus busy as hell on top. And Elise can definitely be overpowered when she's on bottom. We just saw that happen. So 8,800 might actually be worth it if Cory gets it to the ground. Team Alpha Male is only going to help with the wrestling, which she already was a wrestler. That's only going to help. So that may be worth it. You shook your head no. I'm assuming you don't like $8,800.
Nah, because I think this is a pick. If she was like 82, 83, I think that's the value in her. 88, yeah, she could. I mean, she could absolutely do what Eubanks did, but yeah, I think she's going to try and fight at distance at the start, and it could find herself in a little bit of a tizzy.
Well, and this sounds like a shameless plug, but this is a perfect fight again for Odds Jam, because if you go to oddsjam.com, you click on this fight. They literally use AI and their mathematical calculations to say what the best odds should be. And as soon as a book updates their odds to be that or better, it's immediately highlighted and you're notified. And Cory McKenna, let's say she works her way down to somehow on some sleeper book or something happens and her odds work down a little bit, I'll hit it. I am pretty confident in her. I think it's a close fight, but I am pretty confident in her to get this done. And Monkey Knife Fight, 88 to 52. 52 is funny because we know Chris, who makes these Monkey Knife Fight lines. He's got no data to work with here because Elise Reed was dominated in 2 minutes. So he just threw that 52 out there. So 88 to 52, I think it's a close fight, meaning, like you said, Elise Reed, if she kickboxes on the outside, that's her fight. If Cory McKenna closes the distance, that's her fight. So it's close in that they both have a path. But I don't think it's actually close when they get out there if Cory starts grappling, and I think she will. So I actually think it's either a less or something close to that, because I think Cory can just control her, dominate, pound away on top. And 88 strikes, a lot of strikes when we just saw Elise Reed get completely dominated in grappling. What do you think?
Yeah, it's probably a less play because even if Cory doesn't, let's say she can't even get the takedowns, I think she's physical enough and can control the clinch well enough to maybe even just hold her against the cage if she needs to and just kind of work the dirty boxing from there. So, yeah, it's probably a less play.
Yeah, so I'll probably hit that up. But you want to hit us up for 50 free bucks? Go to wewantpicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our 5 betting partners. Make a deposit. And then let us know after you do. Right there on our website, there's a claim your free money form. Fill it out. The email comes to me, and I go ahead and I get you paid. WeWantPicks.com/bets.